feeling like I'm academics. Can't ride no wave.
But while Myron's here, I want to give him like, we could get some some quick shoots at him. Hey, I want you to put on your law enforcement hat here.
Sure.
Not your political hat. You have a lot of hats.
All right, I'll put the cop hat on.
Okay.
Sure.
So, there's a guy who just responded to me, and I reacted to some videos of his, and I reacted on Kick. We're talking about Chud the Builder. He's out of Nashville, Tennessee, or actually he's in Nashville, Tennessee. He's from Clarksville, Tennessee, and I'll give the shtick about him. Basically, he kind of like,
I know who he is.
Yeah, he goes up to people. He says, "Hey, listen," he believes in freedom of speech, but then he kind of goes, kind of almost like a little bit antagonizing, and he'll say the N-word, this and third. Now, wherever people fall on that is whatever, but what I've seen with that is that it's borderline really antagonistic, and I responded to it and I said, listen, you know what? What's going to happen here is because there's something about how he's doing it. It's not just the word, right? Like there's some people who actually believe that the word should not be. Okay, that's not what we're arguing. It's the way he's doing it. Some people, well, not some people, most people feel like it's really antagonizing. Anyway, that's not even the conversation. He responded to a video that I said, what's going to happen is this. You've gotten so many people in the black community feeling a way, right, about how you operate, that even if someone swings on you and assaults you, when that person gets out, he's going to have like $100,000 on a GoFundMe. And I don't know if that's worth it, because it's not that you're picking bad actors and most people will be able to agree with you like on how you're acting. It feels like you're the antagonist, and that's where you're going to lose people. Anyway, he responded to me on Twitter and he said, by you saying that people are going to attack me for whatever and maybe they could get a GoFundMe, you're encouraging someone getting shot in the face. And, I'm going to respond to him fully tonight, but like, I was really shocked that his interpretation of how self-defense works is that he could go around and even, yes, free speech, but if you're antagonizing people, let's say someone punches you, you as a law enforcement officer, that's why I said put your law enforcement hat on. Okay, say you're going around, you're saying the N-word, you're saying people are chimping out. Someone punches you straight in the face. Yeah, you have a weapon on you. You could shoot him. Nashville, Tennessee.
Let me look, because different states are different. Some states have a stand your ground law, like Florida does. I don't know if Tennessee has a duty to retreat.
But hold on though, stand your ground or not. And let's bring it to you. Let's make it a little bit more personal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some people feel like you're inflammatory. If they saw you in public and they punched you, in the law enforcement realm, does that rise to the standard of using lethal force?
So there's a lot of different factors that come in when it comes to lethal force. So whenever it comes to lethal force, right, this is why it's so important to be able to articulate what's going on, right? So I'll give you an example. If someone pulls out pepper spray on me, personally, Myron Gaines, right?
Yeah.
I know I'm going to shoot them, and I'll tell you why.
Can you? Legally. We're talking, this is why I said cop hat.
And I'm going to tell you why. Me particularly, I'm going to tell you why. When I was in the academy, I was pepper sprayed. So I remember what it was like to be pepper sprayed, and I know that if I'm pepper sprayed, I'm cooked. For days, I couldn't see. I was burning for days. Even when I was showering, I couldn't get it out of my eyes. It was blurry. So I know personally that if someone tries to pepper spray me, I will not be able to, I'm going to be incapacitated 1,000% for days. So now, so when I, if I use lethal force, I'm able to articulate why, right? Because I know that if someone pepper sprays me, I'm cooked and I cannot defend myself. I'm incapacitated. Now my life is in danger, right? Everyone is different, right? If a woman, right? Let's say, I'll give you a perfect example. If someone punches a woman versus someone punches a man, right? Someone punches me versus someone punches a woman's going to be able to escalate the use of force ladder way faster than me, because she's going to argue, well, it's a man. He punched me and he almost knocked me out. I couldn't afford to take another punch. I grabbed my gun and I shot him. Now with me, right? Let's say the person is like, smaller than me or whatever and punches me. Like, can I articulate and be like, oh yeah, I shot him because, I felt like there was a danger to my life, whatever. Sure, but it's not going to be as strong as like a small woman saying, oh, I got punched. So the point I'm trying to make here is like use of force is almost always contingent upon the individual who is using the force. And then it's never based on 20/20 hindsight. It's based on what are the facts known to that individual at the time that the use of force was done on them. This is why, like, if someone like pulls out a plastic gun and you shoot and kill them, and then you find out after the fact that the gun was plastic, the shoot is still valid because at that time, with all the rapidly evolving facts, you didn't know. You thought it was a gun, and what would a reasonable person believe? And that's the most important thing. What would a reasonable person believe given all the facts and circumstances? A reasonable person would believe, yo, it is a real gun, and they shoot.
Okay, so let me ask you again, because this is the basis of like this conversation. What I think is going to happen with this Chud the Builder guy is that someone is going to assault him. They're going to punch him. And it feels like he's been saying, if you attack me, I'm going to kill you. And that is a legal conundrum that is almost is being tabled, and it's probably going to happen at a certain point. But I don't think legality falls in his lap in terms of him thinking that his actions would be protected, right? So let me ask you a question. If you go for a jog, right? Somebody sees you, you're jogging, whatever, you're jogging through a park. They'd be like, you have your gun on you. They don't know. They see you. They'll be like, hey, ain't you the nigga from the Fresh and Fit podcast? You'll be like, yeah, what's up, man? And you keep jogging. They'll be like, man, didn't you say you don't fuck with whatever? And you're like, yeah, you keep, and then they just sock you. Bang!
Yep.
Are you then allowed, like you're not like knocked out, but you're fucking startled. Are you then allowed to take your gun out and defend yourself, or do you have to catch a squabble?
It depends on the situation. So like if he catches me off guard and he hits me and I didn't see him coming and I don't know what he has and I shoot him, that'll probably be a clean shoot depending on the situation.
Oh, okay.
Because the thing is, man, every use of force situation is so different, and then it's based on what was known to the individual at the time. Let's say it's nighttime. It's early morning, right? I'm running. I could say and he hits me. Well, I can't see his hands. I don't know what happened. He just came up on me. It's nighttime, etc. That changes the pattern of facts significantly. So, was there anyone else with him? Was there someone else in another car and they were saying some things? Did he say, I'm going to kill you? Did he say, I'm going to knock you out, blah, blah, whatever? All of these different factors, and this is why use of force is so tricky because it depends on all the different multitude of factors that came in that led you to, that use of force. Some idiot in your chat said something about, pepper spray doesn't, you can't be met with lethal force. It absolutely can. Pull out pepper spray on a cop and see what happens, dumbass. Some niggas are stupid in your chat, bro. No offense. Like, pull out pepper spray on a cop and see what happens. You're gonna get shot. 100%.
Wait. So you believe law enforcement would use, they would shoot someone who was trying to pepper spray?
Bro, if you pull out pepper spray on a cop, you're dead. I'm telling you right now, you're dead.
Okay.
You are going to get shot. And I'll tell you why. Because every cop gets pepper sprayed in the academy, and ask anyone in here that's law enforcement. Almost every police academy forces you to get pepper sprayed and definitely tased, especially if you carry a taser. If you pull out pepper spray on a cop, you're gonna get shot, 100%. Because people need to understand when it comes to police officers, they elevate to a level above the force that's being used against them. So if you go ahead and you punch a cop or whatever, right? Or you have your hands, whatever, depending on the situation, they're going to pull out a taser. They're going to pull out a baton. They're going to use numbers. They're always going to make it where there's a saying, you go home no matter what. That's what every single police department teaches you. This is what every federal agency teaches you. You go home no matter what. You win every single fight. If that means you beat his ass with a baton, if that means you tase him, if that means you pepper spray him, if it means it's 70 y'all niggas and you whoop his ass, you're going to go home. That's what they teach you. That's why they're so aggressive if you ever show any type of force against them. So if you try to squabble up, they're going to tase or shoot you. If you try to pull out OC, you're 1,000% going to get shot. That's why some people in your chat are retarded. I know offense, some of y'all niggas are stupid and need you to shut up. If you pull out pepper spray, you're going to get shot by the police. 100%.
So
you're going to get shot.
So I was thinking that maybe you would probably get shot because a police officer has lethal weapons on their person, and if they become incapacitated, you could probably use those weapons to not only kill them, but kill other people. So they need to, number one, when you pull out anything, make sure that they're still vigilant and still within, whatever. So
Sure. Because they have the right to be the aggressor. So I understand what yes.
That would be my thought.
Yeah. Because they have the right to be the aggressor. But also, well, as a private civilian, if you got a gun on you and someone knocks you out, you can also articulate that you're incapacitated. They can take your gun from you and kill you. Same situation. The only thing with the cops is cops have no duty to retreat. That's the big one. Like, police have absolutely no duty to retreat. So, like, when I was debating the Renee Good one and the Alex Petty shit, people were like, yo, they don't have to do that, blah, blah. Police have zero duty to retreat at all.
Wait. Could you give us a little bit? Is that the person that ICE killed?
Yeah, those are the two ICE ones. And I debated this on college campuses, too. And they got all mad and shit like that. But like, I was trying to explain to them, like, when it comes to police get an extra layer of protection because they have no duty to retreat when if they're conducting lawful enforcement. Because in order for them to conduct their job, they can't retreat, right? Does that make sense? So like they have to be the aggressor a lot of the times to take you into custody if they have, probable cause or, some type of legal basis to be dealing with you in the first place. So when it comes to Renee Good, right, that's the girl that he shot through the windshield, if you remember.
Yeah.
Like her, she was there obstructing them from trying to get through. That's why she had her car in the street or whatever. They were doing an immigration enforcement operation.
Yeah.
She was there blocking them off.
That was in Minnesota, right?
That was, yeah, in Minneapolis. Exactly. And they told her, yo, move. She didn't want to move. They warned her twice. And then that's when they're like, all right, well, we're going to get you out. And then when they tried to arrest her, because she had been committing a crime, 18 U.S.C. 111, which is assault or impeding a federal law enforcement officer, right? Then she drove the car towards him. He had every right to shoot her because it's like, yo, that's a deadly weapon. And they were lawfully there. And she was impeding them, and it is what it is. It's a clean shoot. That's why he hasn't been indicted. And I know a lot of progressives get mad about that shit, but police have absolutely zero duty to retreat when they're, acting within the confinements of their authority.
All right.
Same thing with Alex Petty. He got shot. That was the guy that had the gun on his person. People got mad because the gun that discharged, it got discharged because it had an accidental discharge and went off, if you remember. And it wasn't even the Alex Petty that shot it. One of the Border Patrol agents took the gun off of him, and then the gun went off. And then with the gun going off, they shot him and killed him. People were like, oh my God, that's so bad. They need to go to jail. Like, he didn't even shoot the gun. That's irrelevant. What would a reasonable person think at the time? You're trying to take somebody down. You hear a gun, then you hear a gun go off. Yeah, they're going to shoot him, even though it was an accidental discharge, because the people that shot him had a reasonable belief that it might have been the perpetrator that shot the gun because he was reaching like this the whole time. The guys that shot him, people forget this shit. When he got shot, Alex Petty, he got shot from his left side, right? His gun was on his right-hand side. So the cops that were above him over here on the left-hand side, all they saw was this, right? Now, again, they can't see. They know he's right-handed, and they see that, then they heard gun. So when they saw him doing this, even though the gun was off his person, and they heard the gunshot, they shot him. And that obviously, it's a rapidly evolving event or whatever. That's why they were cleared.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I hope that makes sense. But
no, it is. It makes sense. Last thing I want.